Hi, my name is Larae Keso, and 5 of my family members are watching me deliver my speech, including my mom who's recording and my dog. The equality of women in the United States, the right to vote, the right to speak freely, and the right to be paid fairly are all because of a movement started by Susan B. Anthony, who made the greatest foundational impact of all women in American history. Welcome to the GCU Academy Awards. Tonight we will honor a hero to all women of the United States, presenting the award, Women Impacting American History. This is the highest honor any woman can receive, and tonight we will gladly give this to a very well-deserved woman, Susan B. Anthony. I met Susan when we were secretly meeting in her home with other abolitionists. We knew slavery was wrong and worked together to find ways to abolish this unfair treatment of fellow human beings. When Susan decided to start fighting for women's suffrage, she asked me to join her team to speak out against the law prohibiting the women from the right to vote. I have seen Susan work, fight, and speak for the equality of several people groups, but her contributions to women's rights have not only impacted my life, but the lives of all women. As a coworker for her causes and a friend, I consider it a privilege to present this award to her tonight. Who is this woman and what experiences have contributed to her success? Susan was born into a Quaker family who had strong religious beliefs that all people are equal. This sense of equality was a part of her early learning at home, and when she was just 6 years old, her teacher told her that he would not let her take a hard math test because she was a girl. This was not equality, and so Susan's parents decided to educate her at home. As a result of her early upbringing, Susan always had a sense of justice. She wanted to make sure that girls were treated the same in education, so she became a teacher. After some time, she learned that, as a woman, she was being paid less than the men. She knew this wasn't fair and eventually quit teaching to fight for the cause of equality. This experience inspired her to join the women's rights movement in 1852, fighting for causes like good jobs, speaking in public, holding office, choosing a profession, and owning land. Fighting for a variety of causes led Susan to the passion that she would spend most of her life fighting, suffrage. She devoted her life to this cause, making several bold and unheard choices. Her accomplishments include becoming the secretary of the American Equal Rights Association, giving her the platform to travel and speak about women's suffrage. She also became the publisher of The Revolution, a newspaper devoted to women's issues. She also started the National Suffrage Association. To know Susan is to know strength of character. She did not back down even when she was criticized. The best example of who this woman is occurred when she tried to cast her vote for president. Susan, myself, and several other women marched into the New York barbershop where men were getting their hair cut and voting for the president. Because we were women, we were not allowed inside, so we held a protest with signs and words expressing our right to vote, just like the men. Susan encouraged us to be bold and walk into the male barber shop. So we did, and the men didn't know what to do because there were so many of us. And although that it wasn't legal, Susan filled out a ballot and dropped it in the box. Several of us followed her lead and left. The men did not stop us. Susan had been fighting for this right since 1863, when she campaigned for full citizenship for women and the right to vote. And this time she decided to do something about it. 2 weeks later, Susan was arrested and charged with illegal voting. She gained national attention for her actions and inspired a conversation that took place around the country. People were paying attention to her words and actions. Susan stood up to the judge in her trial, but Susan was found guilty for breaking the law and charged $100 as a fine. Susan has earned the award Women Impacting American History. The people nominated for this award have strong character and strong convictions. This award is for women who have contributed to the history and future of our nation and serve as a role model for other women. This award is for women who have dedicated their lives to serving others, fighting for a cause, and standing for what they believe in. Most importantly, the combined efforts of the person receiving this award must result in making an impact on the lives of others. Susan by far meets the criteria for this award. Previous women who have won this award are Abigail Adams. She appealed to her husband to protect the rights of women. Then Jane Addams won this award afterwards, who was the first American woman to earn the Nobel Peace Prize. Then there was Clara Barton, who was a teacher during the Civil War and started the American Red Cross. Because Susan has spent her life expressing in words and actions the need for equality between man and woman, she is worthy of this award. Susan has spent her life educating the public that there is no difference between men and women. The equality of women in the United States, including the right to vote, the right to speak freely, and the right to be paid fairly, was because of a movement started by Susan B. Anthony, who made one of the greatest foundational impacts on the woman in American history. Susan's upbringings, childhood, and young adult experiences impacted her decisions to fight for the equality of women. Susan's courage to vote for a president when it wasn't legal to do so was an act of bravery that inspired our country. By the way, she never paid that $100 fine. Susan's strength of character when people came against her is admirable and an example to be followed. Her perseverance is why women have voting rights today. Today I stand before you as a woman who has the right to vote for the next President of the United States. I have Susan to thank for impacting this decision by her tireless efforts to work for equality between men and women. It is my honor and privilege to present the award, Women Impacting American History, to my friend, my coworker, and my hero, Susan B. Anthony.